Yo, what's up boys? Welcome back to the Behind the IGL series I'm doing on this channel. And it looked like you guys really liked the last one because of all the support you put on it. So I'm going to do another one today, and this one's going to be on endgame because the last one I did on mid-game and I didn't like show endgame. So this one I'm going to show just endgame of this game in the latest trio cash cup when we got 24th. We didn't do great, but I'm going to show this game because we played the endgame pretty decently. And then the second game is going to be a game from a scrim we played, and I think we played low ground pretty well in that game, and I'll show you that and what we did. Enjoy. So I'm going to start it here because I want to show you the position that I put us in half because I reckon it's pretty helpful to know. So zone pool's max and we're on congested side, so we know we're not going to be able to rotate on foot basically. We're just going to use a pad. So basically here I'm just looking for a spot to land that's going to be safe for the future and as soon as we land, and a space where it's going to be easy to pad in the future. And I know how like half works and where dead side is, so I know if we go all the way like to the back of half, which is over here, it's starting to open up a bit, and then if you land here you're going to be in dead side of half, so in the future it's going to be a lot safer to be here. Rotate's going to be easier and padding is going to be easier because there's going to be a lot less people around you, and I'll explain why this place is dead. So I'm using Fortnite GG to explain this, and this is basically the zone. It was like that, and then this is half. That's probably a bit bigger, but it still works. That's about right. It's like in the middle. So this is the first part that shows, and this little like half a circle in here is like the zone area that's in zone like before moving starts. So everyone's gonna rotate into that and then stop. So there's gonna be a lot more people in there as there would be in this next half once zone is like fully opened. So usually I position myself along this line here because you don't want to come in so late that you can make it here because you're probably going to get focused, etc. But the best thing is to position yourself along this line because then you have dead side to one side of you, and then it's easier. You can use that like for rotations and to pad, and it's safe. And if you're just at the back here, it's more dead than being at this edge here, which is pretty bad. So I land here, make sure I don't get caught by anyone, and then as well, like when you're in half, you need to be like holding your floors. You see, we're like all holding our floors and being aware because people look for drop downs so much in half, and it's easy to just instantly die out of nowhere. So we don't make any plays, we just replace that to hard mats, and we're just holding and being aware because everything's loud, you get no audio, so it's so easy to just die out of nowhere. And especially these people below us, we're worried about them. And then as zone's about to pull, I'm getting ready to figure out what to do. And I have a pad, so it's just going to be pretty simple. I know we're just going to pad late. And another thing about landing like on that line that I showed you on Fortnite GG is that like every zone's going to be like the same length away from you, if that makes sense. Like you can't, if you're on the very edge, you can pull like a super far zone, but you just physically can't if you're in this place. And now I'm just trying to land somewhere high up that's going to go straight to zone, so I land here. And I go up another one, and then I'm realizing we might be able to take height, so I'm looking, but then I see those people build up, and then I'm saying, no, let's just keep going. Like, genuinely, you'll see me having like a really high layer in first or second moving even, because you really want to have like layer that's gonna make it easy for you to like go anywhere you want next zones, because there's so many zones ahead of you. And especially because I have a pad as well, this makes it easier for us to pad. And then here I'm looking to use my pad again so we can save mats. And I still want to land somewhere high up, so like what I said before, it just makes rotates easier for the next zones. And we have enough mats to do so. And you want to be pressuring everyone on your layer like at all times, so you don't have to change the layers and you can get them off. I'm just continuing here and I'm playing to an edge. You want to play an edge because if you play an edge, right, the only pressure you can get is like from above, below, and to the right, but you will never get pressure from the left because you're playing an edge, right? That's where it's better. Because imagine you're like here basically, or like right where the camera is, you're going straight through the middle. You can get pressured by there, you can get pressured there, you can get pressured up and everywhere, and it's just bad. And being on the left as well is good, because sometimes like if someone cuts ahead of you, you can like tank to the left through zone. Yeah. And then basically here, like we're in a good position. I don't want to go any further. We're just waiting till zone, so we're just pressuring everyone around us and getting free kills and maybe some refreshes. And then as I noticed, zone pulls kind of through our top, so I want to just play through it to save mats, which is pretty common knowledge. And then here, like when you're going through old builds with your teammates, you really want to just be all together, because you never know when someone's going to edit on you. You don't know where people are because it's all fully built metal. Especially like right here it happens, and I come across this guy, but my whole team's there, so he like goes away because you know he can't win that. And then I notice it goes back for our top again, which is that's some gifted zones, but yeah. And then I remember saying, because this is final zone, right? The biggest thing in moving zones is that you want to end on either high ground or low ground, right? This is because in the final 3 teams, say there's a high ground team there, a mid ground team here. I'll draw these like tops, if you understand that. These are like tops, and then there's the low ground team there. And that's the mid ground team, and that's the high ground team. Say like you need to finish the game on low ground or high ground, because if you're the mid ground team here, you're getting pressured from low and you're getting pressured from high. And if you're low, you only get pressured from above basically, and high only gets pressured from below. So you want to finish on one of these, so you're not getting sandwiched like mid grounders. So I know that information, that we need to finish on low or high. So you see me starting to just make my way down layers. Even though I have mats and I could just stay that layer, you watch me starting to go down layers. So I know I can start fighting low ground and trying to claim it. I don't think I do it enough here. Like I should be just starting to drop more layers like right now. But that's just my bad. Like right here, I should be, wait, let's see. So I'm right here. I should be getting double edits ahead here, and then starting to drop layers and fight these people, because I know they're fighting and they're weak and stuff, and we're a full trigger. That's what I should be doing. I actually do start doing it here basically, but a little bit too late, but it still almost works out. So we start dropping, fighting these people. So I claim low. So I basically claimed low here, but like, this is exactly what I should be doing, but I think my teammates like get split off and this guy goes down. So we almost did it perfectly, but that still shows exactly how I want to and usually do play in games. Like I'm playing the whole game safe until the end. I'm starting to drop players to try claim low so we can finish on low or high. I just can't win the 1v2. And now this is the scrim game, and I'm starting here from half off. We did just pull it, but you still notice we're like pretty high up, and so it's like still easy to pad from, and dead sides to our right, so we can go out there to pad, because we're positioned on that line as you see in the bottom right, where I said before. And now here, first moving started, so I'm going out to pad to the right, because that's dead side and it's safer. And then I'm looking here to land somewhere high up once again, just like I do nearly every first moving zone, especially in stacked lobbies. And then I know we're not like in any dead side and there's a lot of people around us, so I'm going to be building in middle most of the time, because it's just safer when you're in like a super congested place like this. And you see me a lot tanking zone to get ahead of people, and tops to cut them off, and actually does get people off our layer. And then I know here, this is like the big play of the game, to be honest. Well, first of all, you notice I get like, I don't just tarp to zone and stop. I tarp all the way to like the front of everyone, and then I get ready for zone to like pull this way or that way, so I can drop to low ground instantly. And that's another thing with the peppers. I dropped everyone peppers to pop before zone pop, so if I drop low, we can do it super quickly and get ahead of everyone, as you'll see right now. And then I know zone pulls max, and I said drop low, and then we insta pepper ahead and drop low. And now this is like really good having, well, I know the terrain is like really like, it doesn't go up or down much, so it's good and easy to play low ground this early, basically here I'm just trying to keep low. Like, you notice I'm not even healing, I'm just trying to keep tarping so I can claim low, because if someone, like if you're low and then someone takes it off you, it's really bad because it's so hard to go up through congestion. And then I notice here there's like a, he's not a big threat, but I notice zone pulls that way and we need to claim low, so I just jump on him. And then I instantly get ahead, so I know nobody else can take low. And it's pretty simple from here on. We just have to keep pressuring everyone on low off of our layer, so we can keep this. And you notice there, that play was pretty good. I sometimes on low, like I'll tank zone to go out to place like a bunch of double edits above of me, so the people above me that want to get low can't. And playing low is really good. You got a lot of kills from like drop downs and all the scuffed people that dropped your layer because they don't have mats. You get a lot more refreshes playing low. And then zone pulls back, and this is where I think I made a mistake, to be honest, because I know zone, you see on the bottom right there, like the little dot right there, it finishes like here, and like there's a little hill here, so I need to get to that layer and stay that layer until the end of the game. And I do drop down here and it like mucks us up a little bit, but it wasn't like a big deal because it gave people the opportunity, like for when I dropped down here, it gave the opportunity for people to take low from me when it goes up that little hill, because I could have been above these people and then eventually I know I'm going to get low ground even though they have it at the current moment, because it's going to go over that little hill, that elevation change. But it didn't really matter too much in this game. So you notice we're going up here, now we're getting pressure. We could have just been this layer from the start, because someone could have taken low from us if they were smart, but yeah. And usually at this end of the game, like this point of the game, where it's like this zone's so small, I make like a tarp that's 1x2, basically. I make a tarp that's this wide, so we're claiming the entire zone on low ground. And I shouldn't actually be building these walls like right here. I should be like just leaving it open so there's no walls in the way. Because I honestly think this is why we kind of died. Like this wall here, it shouldn't have been there, and I should just been like claiming like one box. And then we kind of make a mistake here by like just getting in and fighting these kids. We should have just been claiming and then all be ready to drop it down. But yeah, now it's just me trying to solo clutch basically. And yeah, I think we played low pretty well that game, like taking it on that second zone. That was kind of what I want to show you. Because every game, like, there's different ways I'm trying to take low or take high, so I can end the game at the right spot. And because every in-game is so different, like the variables in in-game, like zones where people are, like elevation changes or that, like and places in the map and all the terrain are so different every game compared to mid-game, that like every in-game is so different, and there's so many different variables and stuff that can go wrong, that like a lot of games I play a lot different. Like when there's like a place with a lot of elevation change, I'm not playing low gun until the very last zone, so I like guaranteed that I'm gonna be low gun, if that makes sense. Because in this game, like the elevation, right, it's so like the elevation does not change much, like nearly anywhere except this little hill. So I knew I can take low like super early without having consequences for that later if it goes up a hill. Like say zone was like down there where there's heaps of hills and elevation changes, like you don't want to be playing low early, otherwise if it goes up the hill you're dead. So I usually just play low in the very last zone on that. But overall, you just want to remember like the basics, like you need to end the game on high ground or low ground, and you need to make your way to one of them like early as you can, but sometimes too early is bad.